What is up, Colorado? Welcome back to another episode of Nuggets and Brews, where we talk Denver Nuggets and we get to drink local Colorado craft beer. Oh my God, what a week it's been! It's I know I haven't done an episode in like probably 4 days, and I apologize for it, but I am here. I'm back. Don't think I was gonna just stop making this podcast because it's too fun. I've been having too much fun, but I do have a job and all that kind of stuff. So I'm back to Nuggets and Brews. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Misa. I'm your host for tonight, and I just want to say thank you for everyone who's been following me on Instagram, TikTok, and I have like 13 subscribers now on YouTube. So for all you 14 people that are subscribe to my channel, to the channel of Nuggets and Brews, thank you so much. We all have to start somewhere, and all y'all are the real MVPs right now. Like, you are the true fans. So I hope you enjoy my ramblings, and I hope you've gone to taste some of the beer that I've been presenting on each episode. So tonight I'm gonna drink one tonight. I'm filming this tonight's episode on a Thursday night. Again, welcome back to my dining room / office. I have a weird setup, but you know what? I can't afford a studio right now, so I'm gonna have to make it. I try and make it look as nice as possible. So welcome again to my house, and let's get today's episode going. It's been such a crazy week, and yes, I am repping some Denver Broncos because, of course, we just beat the Chiefs, and we had a week off, and then we just came back and beat the Bills in what was a crazy wild game. But you know what? We're here to talk Denver Nuggets. We're happy for the Broncos, but you know what? We're here to talk Denver Nuggets, and what a week has also been for the Denver Nuggets as well. My God, they've had some serious wins, and Nikola Jokic continues to be a serious MVP contender. Even if it's so early in the season, I just feel like it's his season again. Because he's gonna be, he's that type of player. He's gonna be in the conversation every year because he's just that dominant. He's just that type of player that you just are going to expect him to just kill the competition. I mean, he's phenomenal, but we'll get into that soon. But first things first, let's crack open a beer, and let's talk some Nuggets, y'all. So today, I have this is actually kind of cool because it's everyone wants to do their own Denver Nuggets type thing because the Denver Nuggets is the hot team in Denver right now in Colorado. So this is a Golden Nugs. It's a West Coast IPA from one of my favorite breweries, Liquid Mechanics, and I believe they're over up in Lafayette, Colorado. Fantastic beer. I've always loved their beers that they make. They're always just so fresh. They're just so flavorful. I've loved every one of them. So I already have drinking one of these, so I already kind of know what it tastes like and stuff like that. But of course, I'll tell you like what to expect and everything like that. So here, let me see if I can zoom in. So there you go. Yep. Zoom in. There we go. So, yep, Liquid Mechanics, Golden Nugs, West Coast IPA. So, all right, let's do a little ASMR. Let's crack it open and let's take a drink. Wow, this is actually the first time I've poured it in a glass, and it's actually much prettier in a glass than I thought it was going to be. This is definitely a West Coast IPA. Again, IPA, the drink of choice in Colorado. You can't fault me for going for something like this. Besides, I did had I think it was a blueberry pale ale or blueberry ale, and a coffee porter, but of course I had to go back to my drink of choice, the IPA. And so yeah, beautiful color. Let's take a drink. Oh, it smells fantastic. Oh, every time I've had this beer, I just want to like drink it, like just crush it, because it's just so crushable. Like it's just so crispy. You know, I'm sure if you've drinking like several IPAs or even West Coast IPAs, they tend to be kind of dry, really piney, and just like a little, yeah, just a little dry, really piney, and just like really fluorescent from like the heavy hops that they tend to use. But this one, as it says, and it's kind of accurate, it's a bright, clean West Coast IPA featuring Citra, Simcoe, and HBC 586 hops, whatever that is. But it's not super bitter. It's actually a slightly on the juicy side, just slightly. So that's why I'm saying it's a little crushable. So here comes my first beer burp. Ay, güey. A la chingada. So anyways, my friend Eric Valles, who lives in Vegas, he came to Denver just to watch and hang out with me. And we went to the game together, to the Clippers game, to the in-season tournament. And we had a blast. We had a great time. And if Eric, if you're watching, or people, if you're watching, if you wanna, he actually produces his own music. So make sure to find his music on Spotify. DJ 40 Watt. He makes some really cool stuff. I will put a link in the description of his music in the link in the description. So make sure to check out his music. Really cool stuff. Really awesome dude. And so we went to the game, and of course, being a boys' night, I kind of didn't really pay attention to the game because we were just having too much fun. And of course, I did watch the game, but I didn't really analyze it because I was just watching it in the moment. And so I haven't even had a chance to like rewatch it or anything like that. So I've had to like resort to taking notes from just like what I remember and just some of the highlights that I got to see, and also just stats that are pretty interesting and stuff like that. So, but I mean, for the most part, the game was pretty even, and it was kind of the first time I felt the Clippers not be the Clippers. It's kind of weird. Like, we won 7 wins in a row against the Clippers, but in those meetings, I kind of felt like the Clippers had some sort of identity. They were tough. They loved to, play physical and stuff like that. And even though they played kind of even in this game, I just don't felt the Nuggets were playing like at a full 100%. They were just kind of like at this like 80% pace or not even 80%, maybe like 90% pace, where they were just kind of not playing like super fast. I don't know. It's almost like they were just not necessarily taking the night off, but they were definitely not giving it 100%. Especially in those first 3 quarters, they were just kind of going through the motions, and they just kind of, I almost felt like they weren't really playing with the Clippers per se, because it was pretty even for the most part. And there was, I think the largest lead was 13 points for the Nuggets, but it didn't really felt like never felt like a blowout, because the Clippers are too talented. As much as we like to make fun of them for, I think, losing now 6 in a row or 7 in a row now, this season after acquiring James Harden, they're still a very talented team. And so, there was a little bit of that concern where they were like, let's hope this game is not a get-right game for the Clippers, because, of course, you want to win this in-season tournament, and you want to defend home court. And this was a home game that you absolutely have to defend it, especially against a Western Conference opponent. So, really weird, close game. Kind of some weird vibes. But Jokic, again, just absolutely dominating. I mean, this makes it like 4 games in a row that he scored over 30 points. And I think it was like, I think he's had 10 or more assists in the last 5 games, 9 or more assists, 4 out of the last 5, and then 2 triple-doubles out of those 5 games. So he's just killing it, man. He absolutely knows what he's doing. And he just controls the game. He just controls the tempo. He controls like where people need to go on offense and in defense now. Like he's just the de facto leader out there, and there's no stopping him. There's no rushing him. There's no making him uncomfortable anymore. Jokic is just, he is above every center. He's above every power forward. Like, he's in the upper echelon now where there's no game plan for Nikola Jokic other than let's hope everybody else on the Nuggets has a bad game. Like, that's what it's come down to. But again, a little bit of a weird game, but it was still a fun game. Absolutely. I mean, it was really back and forth. Paul George was like, he was smoking some of the Nuggets. Like, he had some great moves. Like, the dude can ball, and like, it sucks that he's got this bad playoff P reputation because like, the dude's great. Like, he's a great player, and I almost kind of feel bad for him that he kind of chose the Clippers, and he could have gone to like another team and probably had more success. But I don't know, man. It's just like the Clippers right now are just such a weird team. Like, just collectively, I don't know how they're gonna play. It'll be. I hope they don't figure it out because, that is a lot of talent on one team. So I don't know, man. Like, they're just a weird team as far as their chemistry. You add James Harden and you kind of almost have to start over again. In a weird sense, because I mean you've had Westbrook. You recently added Westbrook, but Westbrook tends to kind of mesh relatively quickly. He's a smart player, but you had Paul George, you had Kawhi Leonard, but just a matter of fact that they haven't really ever played together for so long together, and they just haven't had the time to develop that chemistry and stuff like that. So it was just a lot of one-on-one, but Paul George was just killing us. So good thing he only scored about 6 points there in that fourth quarter because, under like seven or 6 minutes, he just kind of he just wasn't scoring at the pace that he was in those first like 3 quarters. So that was good. And probably kudos to KCP for kind of not necessarily locking him down because, Paul George is a great player. It's kind of hard to lock down a player that, has some size on KCP and is really talented. Let's admit it. Paul George is very talented, so he had a great game. Good for him. I think he had like 35 points, but he did have to jack up like 26 shots to get those 35 points. So, and he also played 40 minutes. Maybe that's why he couldn't score that much in that fourth quarter. He's probably a little tired from that. But, anyways, yeah, it was just a fairly even game. Nuggets absolutely killed him in the paint, 58-34, and that's exactly what you want, especially when you have Aaron Gordon. Just dunking on people, and Nikola Jokic is just doing Nikola Jokic things in the inside. We're pretty, and again, pretty even game as far as like second chance points, even in fast breaks, even pretty even on fast breaks points. We had 19 points off of their turnovers, and that's just typical Nuggets basketball. You get a deflection, you get a steal, you get a rebound, and you just go. So that was pretty awesome. And then again, bench, not necessarily great game, but pretty solid. So it wasn't necessarily a get right game for the bench, but they did play relatively solid. They didn't necessarily give up a lead, but they didn't also extend the lead as well. They just kind of maintained it pretty even. I think bench ended up with like 22 points, and I think they ended up with like 20. So fairly even at that point. So that was good to see. Not necessarily a whole lot of production from either bench. It was just like this weird close game. So both teams were playing kind of hard, and both teams were playing relatively solid. But there was also some sloppiness from the Nuggets that it's come to expect because it is that type of team that likes to pass it and stuff like that. So that is kind of expected. So I don't really saw anything from the Nuggets that like concerns me or anything like that. It's just they're just continuing to evolve. And they're continuing to get better, which is like crazy to think about. They just came off a championship and they're getting better. Like, we are so spoiled in Denver right now. We have arguably one of the best players on earth right now, and he's playing for the Denver Nuggets. Like, how fortunate are Nuggets fans right now? Like, we're so crazy lucky to have such an incredible talent on the Nuggets roster right now. Like, and then you have Jamal Murray. Obviously, hopefully Jamal Murray comes back pretty soon. But you know what? Keep resting Jamal. I think I heard something today that he's kind of ready to come back. But I would rest him as much as possible, unless Jamal Murray is kind of worried about, getting some All-Star votes, and if that's really on his mind, then, I don't know if he would risk something like that, but injuring his hamstring a little more just to be able to have that cutoff that the NBA is requiring to be able to get not only those all was it all team all team votes there at the end of the year. But I don't know, that's a conversation for later. But man, what an awesome win for the Nuggets. They get the win 111-108. A little bit close there towards the end, but it's weird. Like, in past years, you in a close game, it would just be like nerve-wracking because you just wouldn't know like if the Nuggets were going to pull it out or if they had like this mentality to just be clutch and just execute correctly. But now it's like you just expect them to win every time, and by all means, they deserve it. They deserve the credit because they've shown it. And again, if it's a close game, my money's on the Nuggets. I mean, they almost beat the Rockets, and they played such a sloppy game. They came back and like they could have won it again. Like they could have won that game, and that was just kind of one of those games that got away, and the Nuggets could have easily been 10-1 right now, which is crazy. But 9-2 looks really good. Is it 8-2 or 9-2? I forgot. I gotta check it. But no, absolutely awesome. My goodness, we had a great time, and man, the Nuggets are just the Denver Nuggets is the LA daddy now. They own the Clippers. They own the Lakers. That's a lot of kids that you have right now, Jokic. So, take care of them. Make sure you give them L's every single time. Make sure you feed them those really nice L's, really large L's, because they're big kids. So feed them those big L's, Jokic. But anyways, I forgot to say, like, this was gonna be segment 1, and then segment 2, I'm gonna talk about the Pelicans, next game that's coming up. So I'm gonna take a quick break, and when I come back for segment 2, I'm going to talk, some predictions about the Pelicans, kind of what to expect, matchups that I'm kind of looking forward to. We did already play the Pelicans, and we kind of smacked them around a little bit. So it's going to be, this one's going to be for the in-season tournament, so there's a little bit more high stakes on this one. And I'm actually interested to see what the Pelicans court looks like. I don't think I've seen it, so hopefully it's not as ugly as like the Bulls or the Heat, where it's like extremely red. I wonder what kind of colors they're going to be using. So that'll be interesting to see. So anyways, you are watching Nuggets and Brews. My name is Misa, and I will see you in a few. Let's continue drinking the beer. Oh, I love liquid mechanics. That is good. That is really good. Oh, wait. What is up, Colorado? Welcome back to Nuggets and Brews, where we talk Denver Nuggets and we get to drink Colorado craft beer. So this is segment 2, and in segment 2, we're going to just be kind of having, but we're going to be previewing tomorrow's matchup. Nuggets visit the Pelicans in another in-season tournament game, which should be pretty fun. I haven't really decided who's going to win this one. I hope the Nuggets win it. They should win it. They're the much better team, and they've had some rest to actually, go up against the Pelicans, and we absolutely destroyed them in our first matchup, which I don't think that was a in-season tournament game, but nonetheless, it was great to get some footage on them and get some just be able to kind of tell like how they're gonna play and how they play us and how to play them. So I kind of foresee a little bit more of a closer game, having that we've already played them and stuff like that. But in segment 2, I just kind of want to go over, some things to look for, some matchups that I'm kind of looking forward to, and also, just kind of talk a little bit about, kind of what to expect and things like that. But just a reminder, please make sure to check out Liquid Mechanics Brewing and to pick up this Golden Nugs West Coast IPA that is absolutely phenomenal. So super, super delicious beer. And at the end of the segment, I'm obviously going to give my predictions to the game. And yeah, so let's get it going. So anyways, this is actually the first game of a 5-game road trip for the Nuggets. So they're not going to be home for a while. So hopefully we can maybe go 3-2 in this road trip. So this is definitely, you have to win this one against the Pelicans. And I'm kind of interested to see how their court is. I haven't really had a chance to look online to see how they look, but hopefully it's not super ugly and hard to watch on TV, because even the Nuggets, for whatever reason, the Nuggets court looks like a darker blue when you're in Ball Arena, but when you watch it on TV, it's like super bright blue. So, but anyways, besides the point. Anyways, some things to look for. These are some matchups that kind of happened in the last meeting against the Pelicans, and it's something that I kind of foresee continuing or hopefully come to fruition. But one, obviously, Gordon did guard Zion Williamson quite a lot, so do expect that to continue. I feel like he did a pretty good job to kind of not necessarily contain him, because Zion Williamson, he's a good player. He's turning out to be pretty good when healthy. So Gordon has that sheer athleticism, just like Zion, to be able to kind of be able to body him up and not allow him to go to his strong hand, and he should be able to contest some of his shots. So he's a little taller than Zion, or they're about the same size, but sheer width-wise and girth-wise, Gordon's about the same size, if not bigger than Zion. So that's definitely a good matchup to watch out for. Another one is Porter versus Brandon Ingram. They're about the same size. They're kind of this. I think they're about the same size, like tall-wise, same weight, and they seem to have the same wingspan, but totally different games. Like their game styles is totally different. Brandon Ingram is more of like a post up. He loves that mid range, that turnaround fadeaway. He's really efficient at those. So we'll see. I feel like Porter will. He's a pretty good defender. If you. Porter's that type of defender that if you keep him in front of him, he tends to be pretty good, and he doesn't tend to get beat a lot of times. And Brandon Ingram is not that type of player that's just gonna blow by you. Like, he's not that type of player, but he does have pretty good footwork. So you just have to make sure that you just keep him in front of you, and contest every shot without having to, without falling for the fake and drawing a foul. So just stay solid. Porter's he seems to learn. I don't think Porter's like a huge liability anymore, like he used to be earlier in his career with the Nuggets. So I think he'll do a pretty good job on Brandon Ingram. However, I don't know if Brandon Ingram is going to guard Porter. So we'll see who guards Michael Porter out on the perimeter, and that'll be another interesting thing to do. But CJ McCollum is not going to play. I think he's not going to play, and I hope he doesn't play, because every time he's played the Nuggets, I feel like McCollum just does not like the Nuggets from his time in Portland, and that has kind of carried over to the Pelicans. Because every time he plays the Nuggets, man, CJ McCollum, he just balls out against the Nuggets, and he some memories of when he was in Portland, him going off. I think it was Game 7, and just knocking off the Nuggets. Still hurts me. Still hurts. But anyways, I think he's out. I don't know what's wrong with him. So hopefully he gets better, but hopefully he doesn't play for this game. So, because the Nuggets, I would like the Nuggets to get this win and to get a nice, solid start to their 5-game road trip. Also, can somebody please guard Jordan Hawkins and Matt Ryan? Please, those two dudes can shoot, and we saw that in the first matchup against the Nuggets. It's like that we just forgot about them. It's like, now that you know that they can shoot, please make sure someone's guarding them, and just put your hands up and make it hard for them, because they seem to be pretty good 3-point shooters. They're not I think Jordan Hawkins is averaging like 13 points. Matt Ryan is averaging like 9, like just under 10 points, but just don't make them go off. Like, don't give them any confidence. I know they're at home. They're probably going to be looking forward to this matchup, but just contain those two because they seem like to be their best 3-point shooters right now, especially that they're giving that they're some of their players are out. The Pelicans are kind of banged up, so we have to take advantage of this game, and you got to win it. But also, I mean, I hope we don't lose it, but this could come as our first in-season tournament loss, but I hope it doesn't because the Nuggets are so much better. I mean, we're only missing Jamal Murray, so we have the advantage of, obviously we have Nikola Jokic, so we have the advantage in the interior, and we have the advantage pretty much across the board. It's just like, will the Nuggets get up for this one? And the Nuggets are 2-2 on the road this year, and they've scored about an average of 107 points. We obviously, the only exception when they visited Oklahoma City was, I think they scored over 120. So that was the only road game this season that the Nuggets have really balled out. And yeah, it's just, and I don't know, the Nuggets just tend to not. I don't know if because they're traveling, I don't know, but they don't seem to score that much points. They just, I mean, especially this season. I know last year we weren't a really good road team either as well, but they were always in games, and they were just relatively close to winning quite a lot of games. So hopefully this year they learn from their mistakes from last year, and they're a much better road team this year. They're 2-2 right now, so let's hope that at least this road trip they go 3-2. I think it's very very feasible for them to even go get 4, because some of the teams that they're playing, not that they're not good, but they're just not as good as the Nuggets. So let's get this first win. Let's continue rolling the in-season tournament. Because again, who wouldn't want to win an extra $500,000? I can easily use an extra $50 today because I need it for gas. But anyways, so yeah, and I kind of hope this is a game where the bench kind of gets the rhythm again. Again, the Nuggets have enough athleticism. And this is probably a good game for the bench to kind of get back into rhythm, kind of get back to basics, and just be very active defensively. So I hope the Nuggets bench get really into it, because for the most part, Michael Malone has been kind of experimenting the past like 3-4 games since Jamal went down. He put Julian Strawther in, and he's been taking him out. We saw some Jalen Pickett against the Clippers. So we've seen Malone willing to experiment, and as he should. This bench isn't like, this bench is new. Aside from Christian Brown, Reggie Jackson is kind of a new addition. Even though he was here last year, he didn't really play last year. So he's kind of like a new addition as well. But having him in the starting lineup, Malone needs to experiment, see what sticks, see what doesn't stick, and this could be a good test for Malone to kind of experiment and continue experimenting and see, maybe Julian Strawther makes a return, because he was just not good on defense for in his last 2 stints. So we'll see if he comes back, because it seems like it's Christian Brown and Peyton Watson who are kind of like your locks. They've been relatively solid on defense, but we'll see if they can elevate their game offensively and be able to just get some points. Even if you just get 10 points apiece, I think that would definitely help the Nuggets bench. Zeke Naji seems to be your backup center. He seems to be kind of like your lock, and but I haven't seen a whole lot of mistakes from Naji. So I just hope Malone gets enough confidence to kind of give these guys some minutes, and hopefully they don't blow a lead or give up a lead or anything like that. So hopefully they extend the lead and be able to give the starters some rest. So look for a get right game for the bench. But I don't know, man. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a close game. having said, that the Nuggets are averaging about 107 points. So I don't know. This might come as a loss, but it might come as a really, really close win because it is on the road. The Pelicans are going to kind of give it their all, and some of these in-season tournament games have been kind of fun and they've been kind of close. So we'll see what happens. But let me give you my prediction. My prediction for tomorrow: Nuggets at Pelicans. Nuggets 110, Pelicans 104. It's gonna be a little bit close game, and it's gonna be a bit of a defensive-minded game, and might be a little sloppy, might be a little ugly. But you know what? The Nuggets have learned how to win ugly, and they've learned how to squeak by and execute in late game situations. They've done it before. They continue to do it. So it's gonna be one of those games. All right. Well, anyways. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to my ramblings. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. And thank you so much for anyone who's recently subscribed to the channel. We just got over 100 followers on Instagram, so thank you for that. TikTok's been a little weird. I think they might have shadow banned me for whatever reason. None of my recent posts have gotten views, but you know what? I'm just going to continue posting, and hopefully I get some traction. It's kind of hard to get followers on TikTok. I'm going to have to do a little bit of studying, but that's besides the point. Anyways, also make sure to follow me on Twitter or X. I tend to kind of post when I'm at the games, I kind of post live updates and things like that. So make sure to check me out on that as well. So anyways, love everyone. I love everybody that has recently supported me and has given me some tips and things like that. So thanks so much for watching Nuggets and Brews. My name is Misa, and I hope to make another episode over the weekend to recap the Pelicans game, and obviously to I think they play. I can't remember who they play after the Pelicans. So I will make a podcast as I go along. Anyways, thanks so much for watching Nuggets and Brews. My name is Misa. Have an awesome day. Alright, time to finish this beer. It is so good.